Hi everyone, this is Dan from Headmania, and this is the second time I'm doing this review because the first time I've done it with the microphone off apparently. So I have spoken for 20 minutes or something for nothing, but here we go again. So these are the Audeze Maxwells, and I have finally managed to get my hands on them 3 weeks ago. I've tested them extensively in different situations. These are my headphones, and I have noticed them at the high-end audio show in München, and I kept coming back to the Audeze booth because they definitely sparked my attention. I did not have the control to put on my own music, but they certainly seem to have the potential of being a great product. So, when they came to Audeze store in Bucharest, the first time I missed them because they sold out like worm bread, but now I managed to get one pair for myself, and here we are. So, first of all, I have heard your feedback in the previous review where I had some problems with the sound. It was a windy situation out there, and I used the microphone from the Bose in-ears Quiet Comfort 2. Apparently, it was not good enough, and I got the Rode Wireless Pro, so hopefully this will be a much better quality from the sound perspective. It is a sound channel after all, right? So, well taken, the feedback. So, besides that, I would appreciate if you guys keep hit the subscribe button and the like on this video, because it motivates me to do more reviews like this. And thank you for all who have subscribed, and I reached 200 subscribers, 210, and I'm really glad that I did that. Thank you, everyone. Yes, and hopefully we're gonna grow this channel, because I do like to share my impression, even if this is only a hobby for me, an important one though. So let's get back to the review. These headphones are impressive from the feature perspective. It packs a lot of features. It's like it sounds too good to be true, because they're wireless headphones. They have a wireless dongle, which is actually for low latency in games, but they also have Bluetooth. And not only that they have Bluetooth, but they have the best Bluetooth out there and the best bitrate you can get. They also have LDAC support, so you can use them directly with a phone without dongle. Right? I got this is the Sony PlayStation version. But you can use them on Windows, because I installed the Dolby Access application, which is only 18 bucks. And I think it's worth the money, because it gives you a lot of options to play around with, and it improves the quality in videos, in movies and games. But I'm gonna get into that soon enough. By the way, you will see much more details in the written review. I have a lot of measurements there for all of the settings, even for the comparison with Batis. I also have this comparison with the Wicked earpads. But going back to the video review, I would say that also the build quality is really good. Right, they're metal chases. It looks sturdy. It is sturdy, and the headband is quite comfortable. I don't like necessarily the fact that you have to pull this from here to adjust the headband, and it's not easy to pull out and put it back in. However, the silver lining is that you don't have to do this a lot of times. You just have to get it to a desired position, and that's it. However, another very interesting part is that if you want to change the earpads, it's very easy. You just have to grab the earpad and just rotate until it clicks, and basically you'll see it came off quite easily. And if you want to put it back, it's as simple as that. Put it back in, hear the click, that's it. So amazing from this perspective as well. But let's go back to the features. It also has a microphone, a detachable microphone that you can insert right here. By the way, make sure you insert it here, not in the aux input. But besides this, it also has embedded microphones directly in the headphone. If you don't want to use this, this is better quality, of course, but you will see the quality in some records that I've done for both the detachable microphone, but also for the embedded microphones here. And they also have the noise suppression system powered by AI, and you will see how good it is in the recording themselves. So you don't have to trust me by my word. Also, let's get back to the testing. So I had a lot of tests. I tested it on PC, I tested it on Mac, I tested it on the phone, I tested it on Sony PlayStation, and I also tested it on PC with both music, games, and movies. So I found them impressive in all departments, but in the game and movie department, they're really, really interesting because, for example, I tested in Starfield, and it really brought up the atmosphere of the game in a very immersive way. So it helps you get yourself lost in that game, because basically the atmosphere comes to life. You can hear everything around you. You can hear the placement very well. The engines hum in with almost tangible vibration. The vocals are crispy clear. You have a very good sound stage. Everything is well placed. The tonality is very natural. Everything comes together in a very good manner. So basically, this is not something that all of audiophile headphones or headphones in general can do in games, and this is one of the best headphones that I have actually tested with games, and movies as well. Sometimes with movies, I have the feeling that it's not dynamic enough, and if you enable Dolby and if you use this, it's perfect. If you have a really immersive experience, it has a punchy, dynamic sound. You have big explosions, powerful. You have crisp, clear vocals. You have details all over the place. It's a clean sound. You have placement. You have everything. Then I also tested it on Sony PlayStation. It basically recognized the headphone immediately, and I enabled the 3D audio for Sony PlayStation in the OS, and I have to say that I tested in Forbidden West, the Horizon Forbidden West, and it was an amazing experience because I felt like everything was so well placed. You heard everything in your back, like for example, Mechanical Beast, where you moved around, you knew when you moved around, you knew where everything was around you. And it kept all the good stuff from what I said above from the games in Windows, but I think that the algorithm is a bit better implemented in the Sony, and this is definitely a good pair, the best pair I had with the Sony PlayStation actually. So that's it. By the way, you also have a lot of presets that you can actually, a few presets that you can use directly from the Audeze app, and you can customize your own. You can see how they measure and what differences they make. In the written review, I actually preferred the Audeze default setting, but of course it's customizable and you can make it sound as you wish. And also it's very important, I played around with it, I noticed that the THD, the distortions, were kept in a very low place, so that's a very important thing, and a good achievement, right? So did I mention that these headphones have 80 hours of battery? I think I forgot. 80 hours of battery. This is amazing. I only charged them once, and that's impressive because I didn't have to charge them again since then, and I used them for tens of hours, and I still don't need to charge the battery. But let's get a bit into how it actually sounds in the music, because this is, one of my top priorities when I look at a headphone. And I would say that they are really impressive. These actually have a 90mm driver, and it's very apparent when you listen to them. The sound is big, it's immersive from the start, right? And it also has a very good soundstage for a closed headphone. It's impressive, and it's also a holographic soundstage with everything well placed into the scene. It's also very clear sounding. The THD is low, and you will see in the measurements as well. And you will see that I feel that the background is very black, and that creates a very good contrast. Basically, that he improves the dynamic range and the details of these headphones. Besides that, the bass it goes deep. It's quite linear for a closed headphone, and it has a very strong and dynamic punch. The decay is well sustained, so it offers good details. It's not the fastest bass out there, but it's still a well-paced bass with good details, and it's actually a very fun experience in that domain as well. The mid-range is actually quite, I mean, this is where the magic is at from my perspective. So not only that it has a very good presence, it doesn't have any dips or big peaks that can mess up the experience. It sounds natural. It sounds very well textured. It sounds very detailed and full of life. And the vocals are intimate, they are close to you, they are textured, they're very clean, and they're quite an intimate experience. I love the vocals with these headphones, and they will see that even in the graph, the measurements, the mid-range is quite linear. You don't have you don't have dips. It's actually quite linear until 3 kilohertz, where it goes a bit towards a bigger peak of the 4 kilohertz. I usually hate a peak between 3 and 4 kilohertz. In this case, I didn't think they're shouty, as I usually do with headphones that have a peak, but I think it's not shouty because it's mostly closer to 4 kilohertz. So it's not a problem for me in this perspective. It actually creates a little more energy in that area, so that's a good thing. The treble actually is quite smooth, but linear. It has a dip in the lower treble. It has a kind of a peak in let me check again you'll find this in the written review as well. But it's also a peak around 6 kilohertz, but it's actually not a big peak. It's it's smaller actually than the peak on the 4 kilohertz. So it's not something that it's annoying at all. So the treble is quite of a smooth experience, and after 10 kilohertz it presents good detail and air, right? So that helps a lot. And I actually tested with classical music, and I was amazed. Basically, these headphones are amazing from rock to classical music, for electronic music, everything. It's kind of a genre master. And the classical music was actually very impressive. You have detail, you have space, you have placing, dynamics, you have the texture, good textures, and everything around you in a very present in a very well manner. So I was not expecting to like classical music as much as I did. So besides this headphone is actually a dynamic headphone. It's an energetic one. It has good prat, it has good energy, vibration. It vibrates with life, with textures. The details are quite nice, especially for this price range. They are actually amazing. If I let me see if I didn't forget anything here, but I would say that. Yeah, I think I kind of got into most of the things from the sound perspective, how they sound in the music, and I think they are doing a great job. Now, let's see how they compare to Bati's. Give me a second. And these are the focal batteries. These easily were my favorite wireless headphones, and they're a bit more into the port. It's a bit more in a different category, but these are portable. These are smaller, are not as heavy. They also have active noise cancelling, so they have a little bit of different purpose. Definitely, these are my favorite portable wireless headphones, and I enjoy them a lot. And let's see how they compare to the Batis. And if you see them side by side, the Batis are a bit smaller, Maxwell are a bit bigger. I would say that, of course, these are the Maxwell are a bit more weightier. But in terms of sound quality, and both are actually customizable. So you can go in the applications in both, and you can get your sound that you like. So mostly in this comparison, I tested the focal Batis default setting, but also the dynamic one, and the default setting in the Maxwells. And I would say that both are really good in the transparency and cleanliness section. Both are really clear sounding, and I'm not sure which one is the winner here. Both are kind of in the same category, impressive in this regard. The Maxwells might have a bit more blacker background, but it's not. I would say it's kind of a tie here. Besides that, the sound is bigger with the Maxwells. The driver is bigger and it's quite noticeable. The soundstage is bigger. That also creates an effect of having a more natural soundstage with a better holography overall. The bass is good on both headphones. I would say that the Maxwell is a bit more and go a bit deeper, and that's also probably because of the size of the driver, but both are really good in the bass section. The mid-range is where the Maxwell wins from my perspective, because it's more linear. It doesn't present as many dips as the Focal. So it has more presence, it has more details, it has more textures. The treble on Focal is a bit more feisty, so between 8 and 9 kilohertz you'll find the peak. It's not something that is annoying or too annoying. However, sometimes it affects how the mid-range sound, which is also has a dip. So I would say that the treble on Maxwell is more constant, and I like it more than the one on the Focals, even if it's more sparkly in some area, especially in the, of course, 8 kilohertz area. So the cymbals and instruments similar to that have more pizzazz, but sometimes they're a bit annoying, but not in a way that become too annoying. So I would definitely say that Focal is still a very good choice, especially if you want to go and use them as portable headphones. And from the noise cancellation perspective, the Audeze has passive noise cancellation isolation. Actually, it's quite good, but in a noisy environment, this is a clear winner. It's no contest. But from the wireless headphones perspective, my preference is from the tonality and overall the sound perspective. I would choose Maxwell. So yes, that's an impressive result considering the price range of these two headphones, right? And actually, the Maxwell presents much more features than the Focals. However, they are still good headphones, and if you want more portability, this is still probably a better choice. But from the sound perspective, I still prefer the Maxwells. So now let's get a bit into the fact that I actually tested with Wicked earpads, and it was an easy switch because you've seen how easy you can switch them. I definitely thought that I would prefer these ones because they're a bit thicker. They have gel, and they basically help with creating less heat in your ears. But somehow I ended preferring the stock overall. Why? Because even if these have a bit more soundstage, they have a bit more sub-bass presence, they lose some part of the mid-range magic, because the lower mid-range is not as present and the vocals are not as corporeal, let's say, compared to the stock. Somehow the sound, from my perspective, blends in better with the stock. This also has basically between 3 and 4 kilohertz. They also have a big dip in the 3 and 4, and then a big peak near the 4th. So that creates kind of a vacuum in the sound, which I'm not a very big fan of. And they also have a better treble presence, especially after 8-10 kilohertz. You'll see the measurements in the written review. So, yeah, I think this is a matter of preferences, of course, and it's a good choice to try it out. You have more space because it's thicker. You have better. It's not because of the gel. It's not as it doesn't retain as much heat. But I still prefer the stock more. So I know there's a lot of hype with this, right? And for some people it might be worth it. For me, the stock is the preference. Now, I also tested it with a lot of Dolby settings in Windows, and you can actually see how every setting differs. I think the Dolby Access is actually something that it's worth looking into, and it's not as expensive at all. And you can use it with other headphones, by the way, and it makes a good difference in games and movies, right? Other than that, I think we can go to the conclusion section of this video, and I would say that I'm really, really impressed about these headphones. These are my favorite wireless headphones at this point, and actually one of the first recommendation for anyone who gets into the audio world, because they are so good. They're in Audiophile section, I kid you not. They're amazing from the sound quality perspective. They have a bunch of features. They're packed with features. There's the Swiss Army knife of headphones at this point in time, and I'm looking back like 12 years ago, and then thinking, man, you didn't have a lot of choices of headphones at that point in time. And not only that, but you needed a very good system. And this is basically, you don't need anything. Either just a dongle, or not even the dongle. You can play it with Bluetooth. You have everything in this headphone. It's good for movies. It's good for games. It's good for the music, games, and movies. So, Audeze, you've done it with this one. It's an amazing product, and I think I know why Sony bought Audeze. I hope you guys keep the good work and work on other products like this, because I'm amazed at what you can get out of these headphones at such a price range. Right? 10 years ago, I wouldn't even dreamt to have something like this in a price range that is so portable without the sound system whatsoever. So amazing. However, a few things that I wanted to add here, and you can watch in the written review, read them there. I noticed in the measurements that a slight channel imbalance between the right and left channel. It's not something that it's very important, because I haven't noticed it when I use the headphones. However, I also noticed that the THD, while impressive on both channels and impressive in general, most of the frequency range, there was a little discrepancy on the right channel, right? So. Between 1 and 2.2 kilohertz, I noticed that it was the distortions were close to 1, which is still quite low, and it's on a low part of the frequency range, a small part of the frequency range. Most of it has actually been around 0.05, right? So it's still amazing. But I would have liked to have the same, values for both channels. It's not something that I heard, but if you want to be perfect, this is something that I would try to fix. Also, the fact that maybe, I'm not sure, but looking at the driver here, man, probably you'll see better in the. Um, oh, I can see it here as well. But on the one of the corners of the driver is actually, you can see that the driver is not very even, so it has a wavy form. This is a speculation. I don't think, and I'm not sure if this is the actual root cause, but considering it's exactly on the driver that uh, I noticed the discrepancy in the distortions, it is probably related, right? I'm not sure. However, if there's something to fix, I would say that Audeze needs to make sure that they're consistent in both. Um, but it was not something that I heard in the sound. They're still as impressive as I mentioned until now. So I hope you enjoyed this review. This is certainly something. It's a no-brainer from my perspective. And see you in the next one. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, guys.
Hi everyone, this is Dan from Headmania, and I'm going to do a couple of tests on the microphone from Audeze Maxwell. I'm talking about the microphone that is included in the package, the extensible microphone that you can actually detach from the headphone. And basically this is how it sounds without any setting activated for noise suppression. So basically this is the default setting without any noise suppression or enhancements or whatsoever. This is exactly how it sounds. Basically I will this is a quiet room, and I'm going to start using a vacuum cleaner while I talk, even now without any noise suppression setting activated, so you can actually see the difference without any setting activated and with those activated. So this is basically how the vacuum cleaner sounds without any noise suppression setting activated. And basically I'm still trying to talk to see to see how it sounds while the vacuum cleaner is working, and I'm moving around the room with the vacuum cleaner. Now I'm going to move to the next setting. This is the noise suppression low, and you probably already notice a difference. The basically the voice has the dynamic range has increased, or actually not, the volume has increased. Basically my voice is a little bit louder probably now, and this is how it sounds in a room without any big noises or anything. So basically it's kind of a quiet room, and this is how my voice sounds right now. If I activate my vacuum cleaner, and I have activated it now, this is how it affects my voice, and probably you will see the effect of the noise suppression low setting it has over the vacuum cleaner compared to previous one that was actually deactivated. So I'm going to move to the next setting, which is the noise suppression high. I have activated the noise suppression high setting, and this is how my voice sounds in a quiet room without any noise whatsoever. So basically, this is how I sound with the highest level of noise suppression and no noise in the room. I'm going to start the vacuum cleaner now, and you will see how my voice sounds while I'm moving around the room with the vacuum cleaner, and you will see the difference it makes. This is the highest setting of noise suppression. So this is the test. Hopefully this is enough information for you guys to see the effects of the enhancements brought by the noise suppression settings of the Audeze Maxwell headphones. Hi everyone, this is Dan from Headmania, and this is the second test I'm going to do for the microphone embedded in the Audeze Maxwell. So yes, the Maxwells also have embedded microphones. So not only the ones that you can attach to them, which is should be present a better quality in the recording, but also it has embedded microphones, and this is quite nice because it's a easier on-the-go use if you don't need to have a better quality. So this is me speaking, and this is how I sound without any noise suppression setting activated. Now I'm going to start again the vacuum cleaner and see how I sound while the vacuum cleaner is on. And this is how it sounds while the vacuum cleaner is on. And now, and I'm still talking because it will be helpful to understand how it affects the voice. Now I'm going to switch to the low noise suppression setting. And this is how I sound in a quiet room with the low noise suppression setting on. So basically, I'm talking now within a quiet room, and I'm going to start the vacuum cleaner. But in the meanwhile, it's important to see how it changed the voice because it probably changed the voice. It has a bigger volume now. So I'm going to start the vacuum cleaner, and this is how it sounds while the vacuum cleaner is there, moving around the room with it. And this is the low noise suppression setting activate. Basically, I'm going to move now to the highest setting for noise suppression. And this is the highest setting of noise suppression. And this is how my voice sounds within a quiet room without any noise whatsoever. And I am going to start the vacuum cleaner again and see how it sounds with the vacuum cleaner on. I have started the vacuum cleaner, and this is how the active noise suppression, the highest settings, affects the sound. So basically, you will be able to test how it sounds with the vacuum cleaner on. This is again a test with the embedded microphone within the headsets themselves. So this is the test. Hopefully, you will get enough information from these two tests that you can be found on headmania.org.